Hey, ask Eliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions.
Go, go, go.
I'm going. We're back. We're coming up on that 4th of July weekend. I always feel like a radio DJ. Like, I feel like I've got like a list of things. I'm like, and the holiday weekend's coming up. So get your sun and fun ready. Bring some sunshine with you if you're coming to visit.
Bring some. I don't think anyone needs to bring sunshine to LA. I think they've got it. Got it in the Cayenne cover.
Noah was talking to me about, like, as he often does, about like NBA stars and how, you know, a lot of them summer in like Miami or LA. And I was like, why would you summer in LA? And I was like, I guess if you like live in New York or somewhere less cool, but I'm like, it is very hot.
It's hot.
But it's cool.
Less hot there than Miami. Better there, you know.
Here's the thing. Industries can come and go. LA is where the cool people are. And I say that as a resident who pays a lot of taxes to a super fucked up city. But like LA is ground zero for like cool things. Like when I travel anywhere else and they're like, we've got this cool restaurant. I'm like, we had it 3 years ago, but thank you so much.
Right. But I think you have to be aware of what the cool stuff is, because I think people who don't know LA and you first go there, you're like, oh, why is the Hollywood Boulevard so disgusting? It's like, because that's not what, you know what I mean? Like the tourist stuff is different than the actual LA.
Sure. But if you are like a true tourist, you're kind of okay with that. Like if you're on Hollywood Boulevard, you're coming from a place where like that is acceptable. And you are coming to see the Walk of Fame. You're not coming to see like, I don't like a chimney cone ice cream place and a Ripley's Believe It or Not and like a McDonald's with a T-Rex coming out of it. Or you're from like Nowhereville.
And 6 Spider-Mans are going to come try to hustle you.
Watch out for that. Like, oh, you didn't know Spider-Man was overweight with one
dirty.
wonky eye? Yeah. So dirty. We're just up here in the Pacific Northwest. And my favorite part about being here as my little vacation before we shoot this movie is like at least 2 days can go by where I don't even look in the mirror.
Oh.
Like we go out to eat. I don't even put on makeup. I'm like, because it's totally cool here. And I love it.
Do you have your favorite restaurants, your favorite spots?
No.
Okay.
But I just like being here. Love the nature. Love the banana slugs. Came outside. It rained the other day, and like there were a lot of like red salamanders in the road that had been squashed.
Oh.
I did help one to safety.
Did you pick him up?
I picked him up with a stick.
Just kind of poked at him.
No, because I thought he was playing dead. Whatever. This is my life now. As we're gearing up to shoot this movie, I can't share any details yet. But off camera, I will tell you, you got a haircut.
Yesterday. Excuse me. And I haven't washed it yet, so it looks nice. But I'll wash it and then it'll poof back out.
Emily, you have such gorgeous hair. Like the level of shine, because you don't use any products, you don't go outside, your hair is not subjected to pollution.
Like a mole person.
If you grew your hair out and got it layered, like you would have like Pantene Pro V commercial hair.
But you have to put in the work. So I just got it. I got it like they go through and they thin it out so that there's less weight, you know, because I'm not putting in the work.
Like your hair is like Native American Asian level shiny.
Oh. My dream. Now but no, I don't. I like it. I like my hair. I'm pleased with my hair.
Something I got do enough with it, and I never see you wear it up
because it's too thick.
Oh, what's that like?
It's too thick for. I did get bangs. I was talking to my guy yesterday. I'd gotten bangs. Remember, like maybe a year ago.
No, you can't do bangs.
I couldn't put in the effort. I like to look, but I was like, now I gotta every morning take care of them. I don't have this kind of.
Let me tell you something.
Investment. Yeah.
In this movie we're shooting, I have multiple like kissing scenes and like love, not like full sex, but like scenes where it's like, you gotta be hot, he's gotta be hot. And like, all I think about are my like postpartum broken hairs. Like all I think about is just being like, it's always been you. I do love you. With like the worst micro mullet in the front, like little bee stinger hairs sticking out.
Cause you always get nice extensions for things, but is there anything you could do for the front? Is there a front extension?
Nope. That's why this is what nobody wants to talk about, and I'm just going to say it. Like the clean girl aesthetic that like a lot of moms do, or like hair parted, or just anyone, hair parted in the middle and back. It's so nobody can see how like untamed the hairs on the side of your head are. Like it is so easy to just do middle. Like that's why so many women with children, to be honest, end up doing that because it's so broken on the sides and it's just the only way to tame it. And that's how I think I'm so nervous that like it's going to be this beautiful love scene and the guy's going to be so hot. And I'm just like, I've got thin hair right here because I had 2 babies and I'm tired. Kiss me.
They have retouchers now. Certain stars insist on being retouched out the wazoo. You could be like, just retouch the baby hair.
Why doesn't she have a nose? Tina Fey has this, I don't remember what it was from. Noah told me about this, how she's like, whatever other actresses may have things better than me. She's like, but I'm the only one that can brush my hair on camera because she has like amazing hair. And it's like, yeah, most people can't.
She does have a good head of hair.
She's got Greek hair. I think she's
You know
Greek.
what? Her and Alec Baldwin, both good heads of hair. That's probably why that show worked.
And Ted Danson.
Yes. Yeah.
I just finished season 3 of Cheers where Diane leaves. Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert. Yeah,
Right.
watch out.
I had some, yeah. Anyway, I had a little date with Noah last night.
I was like, where is this going? I had a little date. What?
Well, you know,
Okay, with your husband.
We don't mess around with drinking and driving. And
No.
so if he has one drink, he will not drive the car. So we Uber a lot, but it's hard to Uber where we are. So I was like, maybe I could have a drink and you could drive. You could watch me get drunk. Not drunk, but you can watch me. And he was like,
Have
no
one
problem.
drink.
And I didn't realize I guess I thought he was going to have like one drink or something. And I didn't realize till I was like a glass and a half in that like I was the only one with a glass. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy myself. So I went home, went to a winery, bought a glass. I was like, I can't drink this. Went home, drank it. And it's so light out for so long here. So at like 10 o'clock at night, it's still light. So you're like, it feels like 6. Anyways, I'm listening to music in the car, going on a walk. This morning, I get in the car to go to Pilates and I turn on the car and Hold the Line was on and it was on volume 10. And he just looked at me. He's like, that was you last night. It was just me drunk. Like, this song is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great song.
That is when you get in a car and the volume is way too loud. Oh, I know what was happening.
You know, I was being cool last night.
having a good time. Blast to the hits.
Speaking of the hits, look, I'm trying to keep this super positive, given the war that's going on right now. And
I was thinking about that ahead of our record. Yeah, we're here not for that, right?
you know what? We're not going to talk about the war right now because A, it's not my job. B, you can probably guess some ideas about the way that I feel about some of this, just being someone that's faced horrific anti-Semitism. But I'm not a crazy person who's willing to go out on a crazy limb just to have my own fans turn on me. So let's stick to what you came for, because chances are what?
No, I just have been seeing more and more people have these famous people, not even about the war, but have these like social media breakdowns.
Yeah.
And I think we're hitting a point where celebrities get so much crap thrown back at them that people are starting to fully just break and post more and more crazy stuff trying to justify themselves, and then they look crazier and crazier. This is not even about politics. This is like
Anything.
anything. And
here's
I was
the
down
other
a rabbit
thing.
hole where I was like, oh my God, this person is clearly even in the I don't
Name
even
a
want
name
to say
that
the
way. Oh, okay.
Kelly Wolf, Scott Wolf's ex-wife, they're getting divorced, and
Is that a celebrity?
she was in like the challenge or something, and she's just posting more and more trying to get her side out there. It very much like Britney Spears' post where you read it and you go, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you need help, and I'm worried about
I think
what's
whatever
happening.
your opinion is, people get off, make money on, enjoy throwing out a straw man argument. And then what happens is like the initial thing, and I've said this before, the initial comment you make, the initial video you post, that is the thing that reaches the farthest. Your follow-up, your equivocation, your let me explain does not reach all the people that it outraged. So then you spend all this time trying to be like, well, what I meant was it doesn't matter. So shoot to kill if you're going to have an opinion, and then step away from it.
You're never going to make yourself look better. Never. And you'll see that's a new trend I'm seeing where somebody says they'll post a video and they're like, me before I posted about such and such and my world turned upside down. It was like some woman had posted about how she tapped a flight attendant on the shoulder and the flight attendant scolded her. And the video got millions and millions of views of people saying, you shouldn't touch other people. And she's like, okay, I shouldn't have, but I was just sharing that I was embarrassed to be scolded on, these things where one moment, one post has 1,000, 100,000 people coming at you
Right.
about something, and then you look crazy trying to
look
defend
crazy.
yourself no matter what.
That is the art of winning these things, is saying nothing after.
As little as possible. Yeah. Because I'm sure you've been like personally where if you're in a fight with someone or something, and then you start texting
start
more and more,
texting.
and you're like, actually, well, and then by the time it's like, well, now I'm just in the wrong because I like flipped
crazy.
out in trying to defend myself.
These male podcasters that say like horrific, like untethered things, the secret is they don't explain themselves, which men get to do.
Yeah.
Especially like hyper, I'm not even gonna say conservative, but like super far right wing. Like I said something crazy, drinking coffee causes brain cancer and Jews run the world. And then they say nothing. So it just leaves people to go at each other in the comment section because there's nothing else to feed off of.
Yeah. Because then later, if someone's like, so what'd you say? You said that thing about coffee. They're just like, man, I don't know, man. As opposed to, well, I read this thing, but then actually, but I do have friends who drink coffee. But then, and you know, you're just like, oh my God. Like we're just, we're reaching too many people.
We got to bring an internet expert on here to talk about that. Maybe I should start booking real guests.
Real guests. There was this really great podcast. Jamie Loftus is a podcaster who does very highly researched podcasts. And it was one about people's 15 minutes of fame. So she went back and talked to people years later who had some kind of viral piece, which I find so, you know, there's people like that little kid who like Charlie bit my finger. He's probably fine. But
I mean, that was in the, when the internet was innocent. But like, my thing is whenever someone annoys you, I'm like, if you can just wait a few weeks, it won't be a thing.
Right.
Like, they won't have mattered. And that's how you end up on like Celebrity Big Brother. Like, you start to feed into that. But like, I don't know. It makes me feel better as someone who is in show business because like the gift you get is that you get to work at a normal level forever. And these people get like a big spike and then you're everywhere. Like, where's Haktua girl? Like, that's not, you know, like there's no substance behind that kind of thing. What?
She stole all that money. Are you so upset that Jojo Siwa is dating a man now? Is that devastating for you?
I don't think about her. But I did call that she was a lesbian.
I know.
Remember? I told you.
Years ago, you said that, and then she came out, and now she's like...
She's too much confidence for a straight woman.
She really...
She got that male swagger.
She
that
did.
I actually have, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's how you had to marry Noah. You're like,
I had to.
Legally.
Check it out. Speaking of lesbians, Michelle and her wife are coming to visit us on vacation.
Oh my God.
And when I tell you that my best friend who has a master's degree from like the London School of Economics or a PhD, it's something like that, and has done like relief work in Haiti and has been on the ground like in multiple countries. When I tell you the ways in which she cannot wrap her mind around the fact that she has to take a ferry to come see me. And I was like, you know what's so funny is I get it. Like if you tell me anything about your city, you're like, and then just get on the public transit. I'm like, Like I don't even take the subway in New York. Like it just seems I need someone with me if you're not a public transportation person. So I had to make her a video
of how to get on the ferry so she doesn't wind up somewhere.
You're like, what if I get on the wrong ferry? Which terminal? You don't realize, like a train, how easy it is until you've done it. Anyway.
Right. Well, that's exciting. Oh my gosh. Is she coming up for the holiday or just a different week?
Coming up for that 4th of July. And it's going to be super Americana.
Yeah. Is there going to be like a fireworks show out there and all that? Like a community thing?
It's so bright until like 10:30. So like, I guess, but I'm 42. I've seen fireworks. I'm good.
I really don't I don't think it's fun to go all gather in a crowd to watch a firework.
My cousin, my in-laws, I guess Noah's cousin got married recently, and one of our relatives, like they had a fireworks display at the wedding. And my mother-in-law texted me because it's her brother's daughter. My brother-in-law texted me a picture of Nick, the dad, looking up in the sky. She goes, my brother watching $35,000 disappear into the sky. It's
right. That's what it is.
And I also have a hot take for you. Only idiots buy fireworks.
There's just too
you
much
don't know
danger.
Anyone who's like, yeah, I have multiple degrees and I buy fireworks. And we live in a pretty rural area. And so they have perennially, but it's bigger around the 4th of July, like fireworks sales and places that fireworks sales stalls that you can go buy them. So you hear them at night. In LA, you hear them all the time, like people just setting them off in the daylight. Like there's categories of stupidity. There's people who buy fireworks, which is a base level of stupidity. Yeah. And then one level below that are people who set them off in the day.
Do you know what are nerd fireworks? The fireworks that we used to buy, that we would get as little kids? The little poppers you throw on the ground, and then the little ones where you light on fire and it's a tablet and it turns into an ash snake. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, neither is any danger at all. So they're like, look, this is a firework. And we're like, we want to blow our hands off. Where are the sparklers? My family's like, no.
You know, people put those in their mouths.
In their butts.
In their butts for the thrill of a lifetime. We went to a Lunar New Year party and they had a little thing of poppers. Poppers not being like the gay party toy.
Right.
And I took Sierra. I was like, let me show you something real scumbag. And I took her outside. I was like, throw this on the ground. And she loved it.
Could she even throw it hard enough to pop?
She eventually got there. I basically realized my role as her mother is to be like the cool kid in the 5th grade that shows you like all the tricks you can do with your mouth and with you twist your fingers around. I'm like, what if you go Batman? Like I'm like, check this out. Won't this be cool?
Are you going to show her how to draw like the Stussy S?
That Stussy S is the next thing for her 4th birthday party.
You're just going to give her a pen and paper.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And say, okay. All right. Answer some questions. Scammed hard. Hi, Eliza and Emily. I'm a huge fan. I've been listening to the podcast for 5 years now. Has it been that long? I guess so.
Wow.
I love what you share and was at the show in Yokota and one in Shibuya last year.
Hey, those are in Japan. For those of you that don't know, one's a military base and Shibuya is not a military base. It was just a regular show I did.
Something awful has happened to me recently and I needed a place to share. Long story short, I got 1 year of my salary stolen by an organized crime threatening me that they were cops and I was part of a money laundering group and was going to get arrested if I did not transfer the money on the phone. I felt like there was a gun pointed to my head at the time and I transferred the money. There were red flags, but I was not thinking straight and these were trained people. Felt like a big idiot, went to the police, called the bank, but they said they cannot do anything. It happens every day. My thought was, if it's happening every day, why aren't you all doing anything? This happened on June 13th, and all I can think of is how stupid I am and the amount of money which was taken. Could have bought 2 cars, paid rent for like 3 years at a nice place, a lot of business flights, which I never take. Oceans of regret. Time is helping, but I still think about it. Why me? How could they do such a horrible thing? How do they even sleep at night? If something like this has happened to you, how would you get over it? I just need a bit of cheering up. Please keep doing what you're doing. Your Japanese fan, Miyuki.
I'm so sorry, Miyuki. And if it makes you feel any better, this actually happened to a relative of mine. And she called me and it was like $4,000. And she was like, everything I said, they had the perfect answer. And she's like, the next thing I know, I'm down. And this is an older relative, you know, I'm down the street transferring this. And they even said, yeah, when you do it, it's going to say, if it's going to tell you it's a scam, don't listen to that. Like this guy. And they sound like you. Like normally when someone calls, let's be honest, like with an Indian accent, you're like, okay, this is a scam, but these people are now trained. They're trained to sound like you. And I'm so sorry. And the organized crime part feels very Japanese. But I guess the good part is now you're more aware. Now you're a little bit more savvy because this might happen again. And maybe you'll apply that to, you know, when you get scams to your email or to your phone and just it's tough. Cause like sometimes I'll get stuff and I'll send it to my social media and be like, is this real? Cause like something goes off. And that's also now, you know, like always trust your instincts.
This is, I think this is a really important question / story because it's happening more and more. And you are not, no one is ever stupid for falling for it. I mean, sometimes they're so bad. They have gotten very sophisticated. I actually got on almost on the plane on the way home. I was just at a conference, and when I flew home, I got an email that looked like it was real from Facebook saying that one of my company's pages had a problem. And because that has happened for real before, I started going through the steps because I was exhausted. I was on a plane. The internet was slow. Like all these things came together to where I was vulnerable. I started typing in my password and then went, this isn't right.
Right.
And stopped and changed all my passwords. And then the people just kept messaging me on the support messenger like, hey, your account's going to get shut down. And I messaged them like, why are you being mean? I know you're fake. You almost got me. Why'd you do this to me? And they're just like,
for anybody,
but it can happen. You just you have to be so careful. And it's
nonstop and it's exhausting.
It's nonstop.
But for anybody
texts,
listening,
emails,
if you ever get a text or an email that feels fake, first of all, never click on anything, but usually in the body of the email, if you have a moment to read, you will see a typo.
A typo.
Or if you look at the email it's coming from, it'll be like, let's say it's from Spectrum. It'll be like spectrumbizytk.net.org. And it'll be the weirdest looking. If it is from an organization, it's just facebook.com or Facebook customer service. It's not YGK113.
Actually, the Facebook issue that had happened with an account where we lost our account for a long time, we went to Facebook like, you guys emailed us. They said it was a scam. Facebook told us it was a scam. It wasn't. Facebook was just idiots when we talked to them. Like, nobody even knows.
Nobody knows.
Just have to be so careful. Always go to your site. If they're telling you something,
but don't feel
you're
bad.
Not alone.
And just so you know, criminals are so sophisticated. We have South American gangs in LA that are using drones to hover over our homes to see if you're home or not. We have people putting cameras, like in someone's gardening crew, putting cameras in people's yards to surveil you, to see your patterns, and then they rob you. Like, we've had to have multiple security meetings in my neighborhood because of the level of sophistication of criminals these days. So don't feel bad. Just get smarter.
Just be so cautious. Always ask. People send, Eliza, I didn't tell you I got a job interview from Coke.
It's because I say it so. I've said it so many times.
And it was a scam.
That's right. They're
How
like,
mean
hey,
is that?
You've enjoyed enough of our product that we like to bring you in.
It was like, and I was like, they're like, you'd be great for
right?
social media coordinator at Coca-Cola. And I'm like, yes. Yes. But I saw
Would
they
you turn
wanted
it
me to
down if it was Dr. Pepper?
They're part of the family, so no, I'd accept that. But it's,
don't feel bad, Miyuki.
They get you when you're Miyuki. They get you when you're vulnerable. I'm so sorry that happened, though.
I only know how to say sumimasen, which is really more of an excuse me than a sorry.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Excuse me for you being scammed.
The Japanese have multiple ways to say sorry.
I'm sure.
It's like a very polite culture. Okay.
Okay, now we have a question that I just love because it's like, this is a brain teaser. Okay. I run a private therapy practice working with children and their families. At the reception desk, I have a bowl of Dum Dums suckers. So the little ones. My 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. parents often comment about this, and some get upset when their child asks. I assume for a sucker. What would Eliza do? Keep the candy up and use it in therapy, or take it down because having candy out that early is crazy? It would be difficult to put it out after a certain time because clients are back to back. So it'd be obvious that the earlier clients didn't have them. I love this because this is the kind of thing that someone will get so mad about that doesn't matter.
First of all, that's not on you.
No.
The fact that the parents are mad that there is an object there that their kids are upset about is why you're in therapy. The kids need to be told no, and those suckers are out for whoever wants to take them, and it's up to the parent to administer them. You're not giving them to the kids. The world does not revolve around your particulars for your child. That's like saying like you shouldn't have chocolate cake in your bakery case because when I bring my kid to come buy bread, they see the chocolate cake and they get upset. That's on you. Leave the suckers out. Do not change your office setup because some parents can't handle their kids. That's it. It's out all day, right?
Yes. I think if you leave the bowl out all day, that's fine. If you're like, if every kid comes up, you go, hey, kid, you want a Dum Dum? You can't do that. But
Also,
if they're just on the desk,
the
great.
parent can take the Dum Dum for later and give it to the kid at 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That's ridiculous. And as a therapist, you should know that. Boundaries. That's ridiculous. I took Sierra with me this morning and she was like, oh, we call it bakery. She's like, can I have some bakery? And I was like, nope. She's like, look at this. I'm like, looks great. You're not getting it. Like, I have no problem saying no.
I have this question. When kids want it, if I'm eating something, if I have a candy or something and a kid wants some, like, you got to go to the parent first, right?
Always.
You can't
Always.
You can't be like, I feel like it's even weird to tell the parent, to tell the kid like, well, it depends on your parent, because then it still makes the parent, what do I say?
No, it's my job to look bad. It's my job to be the bad guy. We were out the
Okay.
other day and these little girls were looking at Tianfu and I went up to them and I had Sierra with me. So like, obviously I'm not going to rape you. And I said,
Obviously.
she's very sweet. If your mommy says it's okay, you're more than welcome to pet her. And the mommy said no. And I was like, okay. Like, there's no reason for you as an adult to really interact with a kid.
I guess, unless they're talking to me.
Independent of the parent. Yeah. But
Right.
like, always
I
just,
don't need to have a
if your
secret.
mommy says okay.
Okay. I do think about that.
You have to be okay with looking bad. Like, someone's like, if your mommy says okay, it's not about trying to make the parent look bad, but you're going to have to parent your kid anyway. It's not like, I can't believe you're making me uncomfortable because I have to say no. You should be very comfortable with saying no. I don't care if my kid doesn't like me for 5 minutes.
Right.
I'll win her back later.
Now, we have a question for Noah. Eliza, I'm wondering if you can answer, if we have to email it to Noah and come back with an answer later.
He's not going to answer it.
Do you know this answer, Eliza? Question for Noah or any chefs. What do I do with a lot of chives? I'll definitely be making a veggie dip. I guess I could freeze the rest.
They just have extra chives, like they have a chive plant.
They just have a lot of, they said CSA Hall. What's that?
Is that what replaced the CDC? There's something called the CSA, and now we just grow
CSA.
chives for our medicine? Okay.
Okay, it turns out it is a community-supported agriculture, a direct marketing arrangement where consumers subscribe to a farm's harvest for a season and receive a box of fresh seasonal produce on a regular basis.
I'll tell you what, during COVID, we subscribed to that, and you would just get like so much Swiss chard, and you're like, okay, like why is
Right.
it never like, ooh, mangoes and carrots?
Here's the filler. Yeah, so this person got a whole lot of chives, and they were like, what do I do? I guess I'll freeze it.
Maybe pickle them. Like you
For
can't.
what?
I don't think you can freeze chives. I'll find out.
Okay.
out. Hopefully, text me
good.
back. Oh, message
Hopefully.
did not send. Well, I don't know where he is. We'll find out.
We'll report back. If it has to be next week, this is the kind of heavy-hitting reporting you can expect from Ask Eliza Anything.
You got to remember, they'll be back soon.
I'll remember. Hi, Eliza and crew. Been listening and following your career for years. You are the only comedian I've seen live more than once, 3 times in Seattle /Tacoma.
There you go.
I am not a nurse, but an espresso machine technician.
Whoa, I could have used you.
I'm only telling you that because I bet I'm the only one who has ever written in. On to my question. I'm 34, female. What do you say to people from your past that you run into out in the world by chance and they say, oh, let's totally get together, but you both know that will never happen? These interactions make me crawl out of my skin. I loathe the fakeness. If we wanted to stay in touch, wouldn't we have? Along the same lines, obligatory social media posting for holidays or texting everyone in your contacts to wish them a happy X holiday. I loved hearing you talk about how you didn't post for Father's Day. With so much going on in the world right now, it just didn't feel right. I didn't post because I was literally spending the day with my dad visiting and getting pedicures.
And nobody cares. Nobody cares about your dad and his eagle feet. Nobody cares.
They sound like they're good feet, though.
Now,
For the most part, I don't do the things I don't want to anymore, and it's great. But can we normalize not having those cringy fake conversations and be okay just saying hi? Can we normalize that most people are experiencing these holidays and we don't need to post or text out of obligation? I would geek out if I heard my question on the pod, but hope you don't feel an obligation, winky face. You can use my real name, Kelsey. P.S. I think it's hilarious that sometimes you use Kelsey to encapsulate a typical annoying girl. Hopefully I can get us some redemption points. Okay, so Kelsey's writing in for her people.
Kelsey is the kind of fan I like. She's like, I'm the butt of the joke, but I'm loving it. Hope you like me. First of all, I have some questions about my espresso machine because I pull a terrible shot of espresso. It's
Okay,
so
great.
expensive because you're just like endlessly trying. Okay.
Kelsey, help us.
Got to get that thick mouse tail. First of all, you never, ever, ever have to post for anything. And once you don't do it, you'll realize nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody is like, where is it? You know, and especially if you're not a celebrity, like nobody's caring. The mass text, I left that behind like a few years after I graduated college. The like, I've got to check in. You do not have to do it. And if you don't do it, right? The friends that don't wish me happy birthday, I find myself like craving their friendship just a little bit more. So it does put you in a little bit of a power position. You shouldn't do it unless you feel like it. And that's all there is to it. And your question is about these micro interactions. Just because you don't keep in touch with someone, that I don't agree with that. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to get a cup of coffee. And, you know, we forget about people. We move around. There's people who are like, oh my God, you know what? I don't see you as much as I would like to, but that's so nice. I think that there is no harm. And someone's like, we should get together. You're just being like, totally. Don't say anything beyond that. And I will give you an example of something similar to that went awry. I had a friend who had these two guys as a friend, these two gay guys. And I would see them at my friend's party and they seemed fine enough. And the gay guy went out on, does it matter that he's gay? Yeah, it matters that he's gay because if he's a straight guy, it's kind of like, why? What do you want? Right?
Okay.
Just a gay couple and they're lovely. And he emailed me about something, or I emailed him. This is so long ago, following up about something. I was like, hey, thanks so much for da-da-da. And the guy went out on a limb and he was like, yeah, I feel like he was like, I think he said something like we should do something, or I'd love to be better friends, which is so vulnerable and sweet. And I wrote back and I said, I feel like we already are better friends. And I meant it like it's already happened. Like this is happening. This is a great thing. Right. He took it as if I was like, no, we don't need to hang out. We already are. And he was like, wow. He was so rude back.
Oh,
interactions like that always make me always curb my desire to reach out to people. And I only say that to say, if you go out on a limb and someone's like, we should hang out more. And you're like, wasn't this enough? Didn't we just hang out? It will make them feel like absolute shit. So I do think there is something to be said for going along with the flow of the current of the conversation. We should hang out more. You're like, totally. And then those plans will never materialize. Or if you're kind of neutral about that person and they're like, great, are you around Friday? We could grab coffee. Just go do it. That I know that it feels like conflicting advice. The amount of times I've set up a coffee with someone thinking I'd like to get to know them better, or this would be a good person to know. And then I really want to cancel because it doesn't fit in my schedule. Have the coffee. Have it. That way you can say you've done it. Especially in Hollywood, like usually it's better to have just done it. And I know that you don't work in Hollywood. I'm just saying like it costs you almost nothing. And you never know.
I agree in that. Yes, I understand not wanting to be fake. I think if I vocally have said I hate so-and-so, like obviously I'm not going to hang out with them. But I do think of these instances where it's like, oh, you barely know them and they're like, we should hang out. It's so much easier for everyone for you to just say totally. And I don't think that's being fake. I think that's just being a member of society in the way that if someone says hello, you say hello back. They say we should hang out and you say totally. That's call and response.
Other than the fact that when people sneeze, I do not say God bless you because it really bothers me. In general, just going with it, just assuming most people are also perfunctory in the way that they're saying things. And then if they follow up, then you can decide if you want to, or you just put it off. Like that's the real skill is like, I'm sorry, I'm going out of town, and then just never follow up. But just go with it because it will cost you emotionally. It will cost you a lot less to just be like, totally. Things are so crazy right now.
Right. But that for that, it also takes other people having a little self-awareness, which is something that is sometimes hard. But I don't think I
have a friend now that like we met at something, we would see each other, and then she kind of just started flaking on me. And I was like, I bet if I never reached out to this person, they would never reach out. And I don't think it's like they're a bad person. I think she's just busy with her own life. Like we all have our own lives and shit and travel. You're not at the top of everyone's mind, but I also like it as a gift to be like, I bet I don't have to keep doing this. But in 6 months, if I was like, let's get coffee, I bet she would. I just think you never want to be the motor.
No, I know. That's why I texted you. I said, are you going to be in town these days? And I
didn't write back because I blocked you. Because you've been shadow banned from my phone.
Shadow banned. But my name that you have with 80 emojis.
That's
and
right.
then your husband's name with 80 emojis. So when you type his name into a chat, it puts all the little chef emojis
so
and pizza
awful.
emojis.
I
and
will
it's
be
so funny.
Like writing a forceful text. I'll be like, yeah, and please make sure that Noah, and it's like double heart man cook emoji.
Because it looks as though you are taking the time to like zhuzh up his name, which does not feel like you.
My old assistant's name was Taylor, and I had 2 blue hearts. That way, when I look at my phone, I could see her text immediately. Yeah. And she's still in there. But now anytime I reference, and there are a couple people named Taylor in my life, it always thinks it's that Taylor. So it looks like I'm like, yeah, and let Taylor know that we'll send that email.
Right.
You should have called Taylor.
It's weirdly sweet, but yeah. Okay.
You guys get a bonus question because of the chive question.
What a bonus question.
Bonus bite.
Hi, guys. Within the last year, I've moved back to my hometown. Oh, and I'm 27. 27 female. Within the last year, I moved back to my hometown to a family-owned house. I was on my own for several years, and it just finally became overwhelming. I also moved back in to help my father with simple things around the house and town while he's gone for work. My twin brother also lives in the house, and at first, I thought he was going through a messy breakup and maybe just a rough patch. However, it turns out he's picked up a meth habit.
Oy.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
I've been as patient as I can, but I've recently picked up a second job and the stress from everything is finally getting the better of me. As you can imagine, the environment in the house is insane. I come home to randomly painted whole walls in the house, him chopping up furniture to make new mini furniture, and even him breaking random dishes in the house and yard. He's been known to be violent, never to me, but he has attacked strangers on the road and even some family members.
Oof.
But the last straw for me is that he has begun eating my food, too.
That was the last straw?
He's making mini furniture and attacking strangers like a rabid dog, but the last straw is that he's eating food. I'm on a diet and have been buying specific meals for myself. I work 6 days a week, up to 10 hours a day now, so my free time is few and far between. And previously, I was doing all of the grocery shopping and most, if not all of the cleaning. I simply do not have the time to cater to him. And instead of him going to the store to get food, he went and bought yarn.
I'm sorry. This meth habit sounds like it would be very funny for about a week.
He's grown and simply not my responsibility. I do love him, but enough is enough. My question is, do I stay here in the family home and help my father and save money, or do I get the fuck out for my mental health? Any feedback would be appreciated, but a longtime fan, have recently found out about your podcast, have been listening religiously on my commute and during my shifts. Much love, a twin in trouble.
A twin in trouble. Nothing is worth the price of your mental health and your comfort.
No.
Okay?
No.
What should happen, and I don't know how much family you have, is that you guys got to get him out of the home and into a rehab facility. But if that can't happen, it's a shame because you're leaving your father there with him. So that's tough. And I think that's going to wear on you. You need to bring in the cavalry. You need other help. You need professionals. You need your family. But if it's possible for you to move out and not feel guilty about your dad, then don't live there, because that is too much.
It's way too much. I
Get him out, though. I would meet with your dad and any relative who can help you. I don't know if he hasn't broken a law, so it's not like you can involve the police, and I don't think you'd want to, and you don't want to do that. But like, what is the best way to get your brother out of that house? That's too much.
I think to an extent you can worry about your dad, but you can help him and make sure he's doing okay and fed and getting where he needs to go, while also living somewhere else in a place that your brother does not have the key.
That's not helping him either. That's enabling him, because he's got this house to go back to and he doesn't have to worry about it. I mean, it doesn't sound like anybody's helping your brother, but let's say there's plenty of people to help him. You can't be living there. That's just too much. It's stressing you out. Plus, that sounds like a pretty significant job. You definitely have the money. Get your own place and then you can help him better from there. But you can't help him because you'll be so frustrated and angry with him by living with him.
He's cutting the furniture into mini furniture.
He's going to end up hurting himself or someone else. Like, you can't have that. You can't be working 10 hours a day and you come home to that.
And have no food, because it's going to wear on your health. And if you're unhealthy, you can't help yourself or your dad.
That's
so
right.
you got to put your mask on first before the kid. Put your inflatable on.
There you go. That was an airplane reference for anyone who didn't totally follow that.
And it was not a good airplane
reference. Put your inflatable on. Thank you for listening to this episode.
Have you seen the new Delta commercial where it's like through the decades?
Maybe.
It's like they show different people, like here's someone in a 20s outfit on a plane. Here's someone in a 30s outfit on a plane. But then they still have that redhead and she's like, and make sure.
She's back. She's like, remember me? Did I have weird work done? We don't know, but I'm back.
Yeah, I love that lady. Let's do some confessions. I have to admit, as I was walking through the lobby at work today, I noticed it had started raining. No issue for me, I drive. But knowing that my coworker, whom I genuinely cannot stand, has to trek to a not-so-nearby bus stop in this weather, that genuinely made my day.
Yeah.
I can't fix the fact that they're utterly incapable of following more than one instruction at a time, but I can absolutely enjoy every small inconvenience the universe throws their way. Laura, you can say my name because I doubt they would listen to this podcast.
The confession would be, and I hid her umbrella.
Right. No, it's just like I had a brief bolt of joy that they were going to get wet.
Yeah, I think that's very human to take pleasure in someone being in pain
Yeah.
whom you don't like.
And then we don't have any barfalicious ones this week. We're doing two little sweet ones.
I hate this segment. I think I've grown
we're
to hate
always
it.
shifting. Okay, we're always shifting this up. We can go back to animal songs next week. We can go to,
Send
think
your
about
animal
it.
songs.
We have some in the hopper, but okay, we'll go back to that next week. But one more confession this week. Hello, my favorite pod ladies. Here's a confession from when I was a charlatan sommelier. I used to work in marketing. I got hired on a job to promote wines at an event. We had a training day where we learned all the taste notes and wine to food pairings. I got so drunk at the training from tasting wines that I retained none of the info. So when it came to working the event, I had no clue what I was talking about. I made up everything, trying to sound as pretentious as possible. E.g., this is a full-bodied, dry white wine with sweet, fruity notes that pairs well with steak. I was talking so much shit so confidently, and people were eating up every word I said, talking just as much shit back to me like either of us had a clue. I sold a lot of wine and made some good money, and I won't feel bad for it.
You shouldn't, because they wanted you to sell that to them. And if they knew anything about wine, they would have known you were full of shit. So whatever. It's not like they bought something that didn't taste good.
Right.
All's well that ends well. And it is completely subjective. Like, what is tangerine to me could be minerally to you, you know that tangerine wine we all love.
Tangerine wine. I mean, people you like orange wine.
I used to. I think I gave up on it.
Yeah, I guess that was a phase.
Yeah, I just, sometimes they're so funky and the bulk of them are, and you're like, I don't need to drink mushroom. Like, this tastes like a basement. I just wrote down my bottom of the cup. It reminded me.
Oh, okay.
Raise a glass to Taylor Swift with The Era's Pour, the new book with 60 cocktail recipes inspired by every era, including riffs of greatest hits, twists on her favorite drinks, call outs to iconic moments in Swiftie history, and of course, an abundance of Easter eggs. Whether you're looking for a refreshing sipper like Fever Dream, a blackberry and bitters twist on a Pim's cup in the middle of a cruel summer, or a cozy cardigan-worthy cinnamon and smoke-laced Peter losing Wendy to drink under a streetlight in a forever winter, The Era's Pour is for you. Filled with fearless flavors of Taylor's early days to the reputation-shaking mixes of her later albums, plus alcohol-free options so everyone at the party has fun. The Era's Pour has got you covered with stunning photography of the cocktails and a design that reflects Taylor's ever-evolving style from her country roots to pop anthem queen. It's the perfect companion for your next listening party. London boys, Miss Americanas, and new romantics alike, grab your shaker tins. It's time to make the whole place shimmer. The Era's Pour is available wherever books are sold.
All right. Now we have a question that is probably inappropriate. I'm doing it after that. But you know what? This is like if a robot flowed this together. Hi, Liza and Emily. Hope the two of you are having an amazing day. Thanks for the laughs. I always enjoy your chemistry and love hearing about Emily's cats. I'm not sure if you're taking questions via email since you're a Patreon now, but here's the story. Now, everybody, please keep submitting questions via Patreon, via email, via wherever you want to send them that I'll see them. The Patreon is the best place. Email is also very good.
What's the email?
It is...
You don't have this tattooed on your wrist?
Ask Eliza podcast @gmail.com. Whenever we start an episode, I have pulled up the email and I have pulled up the Patreon, and I'm flipping back and forth between both.
Yeah, we would love you to be a Patreon member, but if you're not, you can still submit questions the normal way. Did we ever change our song? Anyways, there's no more Twitter. That's
Doesn't
how long I've been
matter.
doing this. Don't leave them on your Twitter or your Facebook. Only
I mean, do whatever you want.
Send them to
but-
the email. That's the only way to get them seen. Or the Patreon.
Or the Patreon. Okay. 3 months ago, my dad passed away from alcoholism. Jeez. My dad was an alcoholic before I was born, and it finally caught up with him. He was 65 years old. It's an extremely strange grief, as I am sad that his life ended the way it did, and because he was never the best father to us. One example I can give is calling up my sister while he was drunk and telling her he hated her. There were many other things, but long story short, the alcoholism didn't affect our distant relationship. I do think it affected me emotionally, and it's one of the reasons I went to therapy. His family was no better, especially my grandmother. She constantly blamed us for being terrible daughters, called us gringas, which isn't a great term for a white person. It's not?
I think it depends on how you say it. Yeah. It's probably not great if someone's yelling it at you.
Right. My dad's family is Spanish, my mom's family is English, or saying we were liars when we tried to tell them our dad had a problem. We were sort of okay with my dad's sister, but she would always take my dad's side, so I would be cautious around her. When he passed, we discovered my dad didn't have a will, and our aunt would pressure us on what to do with his assets, even when she originally didn't want to get involved. We finally told her to stop and reminded her of what her original wish was. Because of that, she stopped speaking to us. To be honest, I wasn't that upset about it, as these people weren't the most fun to be around. Now that I'm in my 30s and about to get married, I want to focus on the home that I'm going to make with my future husband. Long story longer, after my dad's funeral, I have been having anxiety dreams and bad nightmares because of my unresolved feelings or strong negative feelings toward my family and my dad. It usually happens every other day of the week. I brought this up in therapy and in my grief group, and they told me I need to get through it to come out stronger, which I agree. But I
What
would
does
love
that mean?
to hear.
Of course, you have to get through everything to come out stronger.
You have
That's
to keep
Hollywood
having
advice.
nightmares.
You gotta feel good. So you gotta do what you can do. Like,
Right.
what does get through it mean?
I
You're
know.
gonna
Just
get
keep
through
having
it.
nightmares.
What
I would love to hear how
quit
you
this
calm
grief
your
group
mind
and only listen to
before.
this podcast.
No, but they do sound like dicks. I would love to hear how you calm your mind before you sleep. I don't drink before bed usually. I don't drink caffeine after 3. I watch comedies around 9. I stopped watching scary movies at night. I'm a big scary movie fan. And I don't go on my phone starting at 9. My bedtime is usually at 10. Okay. I know this won't take away my nightmares, but I would like to try to alleviate them as much as I can. Do you have any suggestions? Thanks a lot, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie, I'll tell you what your grief group isn't telling you to do. You need to be heard and you need to express yourself, which I know as a British person is going to be a tough one, to his family. It's unresolved because you feel unexpressed, because what you actually want to say is, we were the recipients of my father's abuse. We were the ones that had to live with him day to day with his alcoholism. I am going to go out on a limb here. Your dad's Spanish. I mean, I feel like machismo runs rampant through like Latin culture. This is not to say other cultures don't have their issues, but this sort of worshiping of this man, because it sounds like he was like the man of the family. His mom doesn't think he's done anything wrong, and the sister sees him as almost infallible. What you need to do is express yourself to these people. It does not have to be angry. You're going into this new chapter of your life. I felt this way when I was having Sierra, and I had some like issues with, I'll just say, a family member. And I was like, I don't want to go into this chapter of like being a mother feeling this way with these very old wounds. So I would write a letter and write it for yourself first and then revisit it later. And that will also help you to get some stuff out. It might even be just writing the letter is enough, but I would write it until it's exactly what you want to say. Do not equivocate. Do not make it about like me. You can just be like, here's how I'm feeling. I don't know if these people are invited to the wedding, but think about the outcome you want. Because chances are they're not going to be like, you're right, he was awful. We see that now. Do you want them in your life? Only you can answer that. And if you do, then you need to write a letter that expresses that. But what you need to do is express yourself to these people so that at least you will unburden yourself. And that can be in an email that you've rewritten, or it could be a phone call. But what you don't want to do is carry this into your marriage. And now you have like all this weird family stuff with your dead dad. And that's left a hole. And so I know that's a tough thing to do, but this is not going to get any better. And you'll think it's better. And then your aunt will call about something and it will bring it all back. And you will keep you are living with the ghost of your father. And you are like dealing with a lot of shit that his alcoholism left. And they want to defend him, that's fine, but at least you will have been expressed. So you're not going to get through this until you get through it.
Yeah, you're anxious about something that has yet to happen.
That's right.
And that is...
So make it happen.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. You got to... Once you get these elements sorted and you do not have this looming on the horizon needing to talk to them, it won't bother you as much.
And maybe if the aunt, she doesn't want to talk to you now, what does she want? Does she want money? Maybe that's not going to happen. Ask her what she actually wants. Because it might not be a bad thing. I think there's so many unknowns here.
Yeah.
We don't know what the aunt wants. We don't know what the mom wants. We don't know how everyone's feeling. So I do think it's worth putting it all out there. You can only heal from that. It's like you have to clean a wound before it can heal properly. If it's got rocks and dirt in it, it's going to get all weird and it's going to heal, but it'll be a gnarly heal.
Good on you, though, that you're building a life separate from that. But the dreams do suck. When you feel like in your daily life, you're like, I've got this under control, but then your subconscious is screwing you. That sucks.
Fucking, she wants to call you a gringo. Like, okay. And where does that get you? Like, that's weird to do that to your own family member. But like, and you can say to her, like, if you need to belittle me or write me off because of my skin color, then go right ahead. Because of my culture, go right ahead.
Yeah. Who cares?
Sounds like you actually have some control here. It sounds like you might be the executor of his estate because you're next of kin.
Yeah.
So
just get through this. But unlike your grief group says, they're like, just go through to get through.
Ambiguous advice. Yeah. Like, so for the rest of your life. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
No,
Thanks
you're going to deal
donut.
with...
Let's
you're
move
going
on.
to deal with the legal stuff. Okay, well, then it's time for...
I think they get an episode, a bonus episode.
What?
A bonus bite.
You want an extra question?
I think so, because I don't think the chive thing's going to get answered.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Eliza and gang. I have two very important questions. Can't wait to hear your answers. Number one, now that you're on Lemonada, when are you going to collaborate with Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
I'm dying to.
First, you're not old enough.
Well, whenever she's ready, I'm here. I listen to her mill ads.
I know. You have to be over, I'm sorry, question asker. I think you have to be like over 70 to go on Julie Louis-Dreyfus's podcast, genuinely. So,
anyways, she's great. And Selena Meyer is my North Star.
She's so brilliant. Okay. But second question. This past winter, I lost my ID on our local ski mountain while skiing on my birthday. It was dropped in a weird place that didn't have a lot of traffic, and both Ski Patrol and I agreed it was gone, at least until summer. I grabbed a new ID and called it a loss. Well, miracle of all miracles happened and they found it. Now here's the question. What do I do with this extra ID? I am a total babe, obviously, and well into my 30s with 2 kids, so I can't really give it to someone for a fake ID. I live close to the Canadian border, so maybe I can give it to a fellow mid-30s babe who just desperately needs a way to get her love in this northern state. I don't want to sell it to the highest bidder because I feel like that's getting into gross human trafficking stuff, but also it's my face. I want something for it. Give me all your ideas. Probably don't need to add a PSA to this, but the selling of the ID is total hypothetical. I absolutely won't do it, but I've had fun ruminating about how this ID can help people during a weird time. Hope these questions provided some levity to your day. Signed, Kat.
She's American or she's Canadian?
Kat is... I can't tell if she's near the Canadian border, and I don't know which side.
So it sounds like you're American.
Or Canadian.
Near the Canadian border sounds like you're in America going near the Canadian border.
Okay.
Here's an idea, Kat. Do nothing with it. It's not a big deal. This has no value for anything. And at the very least, you might go to jail.
Which photo is better?
Like, whatever.
Or is it the same photo?
This is so weird.
I just like the specificity. I had an ID from when I was like 12 that was like a non-driver's license, but I needed it for a trip that I just had in my wallet for ages because I was like, just another ID.
You know what? You know what you do? Keep one. First of all, only one is valid. I think like once you get a second one. So I was going to say keep one in your car. Nothing. The answer is do nothing. Stick it to a board. Give it to your little kid to play with if they want to pretend it's a credit card. Nothing. Do nothing with this because something illegal will happen. I don't even know why you're thinking about this.
But again, this goes back to like, the listeners of this podcast are like, I was glad someone was in the rain. I have a second ID and I'm in my mid-30s. It's not even for secret drinking.
The fact that you even mentioned the border, I'm like, that's going to be some sort of international jail time. Just get rid of it. And whatever you do, cut up one of them so that nobody else gets their hands on it. Next question.
Okay. Hi, crew.
Or you know what? Make a weird altar to yourself under the bathroom sink with candles and everything.
So it looks like you have a stalker.
Cat me. Okay, moving on.
My friend's boyfriend, 28 male, let's call him Dave, is planning to propose to my best friend, 28 female, Alice, which I've come to accept. I don't love Dave as a person, but he's grown on me like a fungus. He's into the rock music scene where we live, and his friends with a lot of local bands. He isn't in a band. Think Hype Man. He wants to propose in the middle of the band's performance, like have the music go instrumental, and then he proposes in front of everyone. I've been friends with Alice since high school, and she's a very shy person who doesn't like attention, so I think she'd hate this. I brought it up to Dave, and he basically said that she would want it because it's smaller than at a stadium, and her friends and family would be there. I'm not convinced. Should I get involved and try to
No.
talk him out of it?
No.
Being proposed to, I know, will be a big, exciting thing for Alice, and I want her to enjoy it and love how it happens. Should I mind my own business?
Yes.
Thanks, Anon. She doesn't listen to this podcast often, but just in case. Also, I'm a 29 female, part of the Alphabet Mafia. P.S. Emily, I love your cats and hearing their updates. Ha-ha!
What's an alphabet mafia?
LGBTQ plus AI.
Do not get involved. It's going to make you look so bad. It's going to make it weird with him. This is the beginning of her relationship with this loser. And this is, you know what? The good news is if he proposes wrong, you can use it to build a case against him when you're like, see, and he doesn't really get you. He says she'll want it. This is a part of their relationship where he just does stuff and she goes along with it. This is the idiot that she's chosen, or she will like it. But the truth is, when he's down on one knee and she sees that he's there, you're there, and her mom is there, it won't matter who else is there. So let him do it. Do not get involved. This is where your watch ends.
But also, your friend, if she's listening, is going to know this is you because you have a very specific way of writing that's like funny, and she's going to know.
She's going to know. But you know what? Even better, now she can tell you, like, I would have liked it, whatever. We have to, as women, let go of the idea that your friend's happiness is your responsibility. We get a lot of questions on here, like, how do I help her care for her kid? How do I help her with her husband? She made her choice when she chose this guy. And this proposal, whether good or bad, will be one of millions of experiences she has with this guy. And she chose him. She knows that this is the kind of guy that does that. Nobody signs up to marry someone and then they propose in the weirdest way. And you're like, I had no idea they would do something I didn't like, even though they always do stuff I don't like. Or he knocked it out of, and hopefully he knocks it out of the park. But like, you got to let her deal with it. You just got to let it happen. It's not on you. What do you care if she has a great proposal? What do you care? You want to help this guy who you don't like anyway?
No, you're fine.
Or tell her that you love her, which is, I think, what you really want to do. Emily fights it every day. She's like, is today the day I tell Eliza that she's my true one?
On the podcast, in public. You know what? You know what would be so horrible about that is that it's not, I would have to do it during a live show, because if it's during a pre-recorded show, imagine I tell you, like, this man at this concert.
Do it.
But then, like, the episode doesn't come out. It has to be edited and then uploaded.
I
by then, you've
have
already
Scott
changed your name.
Take it out. If you did that, if you confessed your love for me, I would be so sweet to you. And I'd be like, I think you've misjudged. And I think you're having a mental breakdown.
A crisis.
And I would walk you off, but then I would whisper in your ear, I love you too. But nobody else would hear it.
Just to
so you
drive
would look
me
extra
fully
crazy. I'd be like, I love you so much. Let's get
and
you
that
out
would
of here.
be so kind of you, because you know that's my favorite genre of film.
Women whispering in each other's ears.
And being crazy, yeah. I just watched that one where, like, Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain, like, kill each other's kids or whatever.
Oh my God, Emily, let's just move on. God.
It's time for Cobbs.
Great.
Taste the top with a cob. You're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
Great. Fucking great. My bottom of the cob is limoncello.
Where'd you have some of that?
I didn't. I was making one of my home goods videos, and they had like the big thing that came
Making
out of
one of my home goods videos. Like, that's just like part of your.
It is. I had to go to
life.
Costco to make one. The big thing that came out of like hipster runoff culture were like dry cocktails, like just the dry ingredients. And then you add your own bourbon or water. You know, like it comes with like all the spices in the bottle, and they're always like overly saccharine. So I saw one for limoncello, and it looks like the kind of bottle you'd have a message in a bottle. And then it had like lemon powder and a dry lemon in there. You probably add water or fucking rubbing alcohol. And in the way that Liz Lemon was like, nobody wants Prosecco, nobody wants limoncello. Like, maybe if you live in Italy and your uncle makes it and it's like a summer refresher, but chances are none of us are having the good version of it. And this stuff you can get everywhere. And I don't get it.
Set your alarm to record with me.
It says wireless call. Who's calling from it? 985. Sounds like a scam area code.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All
see.
area codes are scam area codes.
Southeastern Louisiana. Like, I'm good.
You don't need to talk to
Put
them.
on silent. Anyways, limoncello. Go.
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 My bottom. I don't know if I've talked about this, but it's still bothering me. I think I texted you about it, but I don't know if I talked about it. The car that's been parked out in front of my house for like 3 months now.
Still there?
It's still there.
It's still
and I'm
there.
like, it's still there. And I'm just like, I truly every day I'm like, should I undo the tire holes? Do you know what I mean? So the air comes out. Should I do something bad?
That's your confession.
We have a bottom of the cup from a listener who says, been a long time fan. I can't even remember how and when I discovered you. You looked absolutely stunning in your last special. And once again, you delivered. So glad you've had the success you have.
Thank you.
Here's my bottom. People that can't control their dogs.
Oh,
We live in
yeah.
a beautiful area of town near Austin, Texas. There are lots of beautiful trails, but it gets hot quick, so you have to get out early if you don't want your dog to pass out. I get up and out of the house with my little guy. We walk to his favorite duck pond. I see a woman up ahead cleaning up after her dog. I see he's on a leash, so we're good, right? Nope. He sees the ducks and lunges. The stupid handles of the retractable leash goes flying out of her hand, and he runs full clip of the ducks. None were harmed, but she just stands there and is all like, Mason, no, but takes no actual action to retrieve the dog. She instead walks to the trash can to throw away the poo while her two boys grab the leash and brought Mason back. Those people are never sorry. We passed her again on the other side of the pond. She makes no effort to share the sidewalk. No, sorry for the chaos earlier. I had to hang back while she regained control of the dog because I didn't want him coming after us. And I didn't even get a friendly nod. Seriously, some people. Sorry for the rant. Love you all and all you do. Thanks for the pod. It's my weekly pleasure that brings joy to household chores. Much love.
Don't be sorry. I don't like when women do that. Like you do a rant. And it's like, no, you wrote in. Don't be sorry. This was your bottom.
We're here for rants. We
Come
like
on, man.
rants. We love a rant.
You got to control that dog. I was still
Got
see it.
to.
Give the dog his space.
Yeah.
Tianfu, you can get
Smart.
right in there, but everyone else. All right, what's
Yeah.
yours?
I did my bottom.
You did.
That
That's right. It
car.
was, it was
Top.
memorable. Top of the cup. You go.
My top is, okay, it's bad, but so, I've been sick. I also I never sleep very well. I'm not a good sleeper. I think that would surprise some that I don't just conk right out like a big old baby. I don't sleep well. But I've been taking NyQuil all week for my sickness. I've been sleeping so well. It's incredible.
It'll do it.
I'm like, oh, no.
That's the only top of the cup of being sick is that you get to take NyQuil.
Because I can't take melatonin because it gives me restless leg. I can't take, there are all these things I have going on that don't help my sleep. This is the only legally sanctioned way I can sleep well.
Fun fact, you can actually take NyQuil anytime.
I can't.
I took a little micro swig last night. I'm not even sick.
Micro swig. It makes me, and every time I drink it, I'm like, ugh, the taste. It's the liquid. It's so bad. But oh man, am I sleeping? I slept till 11 today and yesterday.
There you go.
So I feel like I'm almost better just because of that.
It's the sleep. You need it.
Yeah.
It heals all. What's the fan top?
Fan top.
I have a micro one. I'll just do it while you search the fan
Oh
one.
my gosh. Okay.
My top of the cob was yesterday. I tried a berry that I had never had before, and it's called a tayberry, and it is a hybrid of a blackberry and a raspberry.
So that sounds like a good berry.
It's delicious, and it's like a raspberry minus the tartness.
Yeah.
And it is like a quintessential berry flavor. Like you eat it and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a berry. Like it's
yeah.
like it's a raspberry without the spice. It was delicious. It was scrumptious. Looks like a long raspberry.
Okay.
No, Tianfu, you're
Long
banned.
raspberry.
Right, you go.
Fan top. My top of the cob is me. My sweet puppy and fiance watch Spencer Confidential with me. I've attached pictures of my sweet boy, puppy, not fiance, fully engaged in the scene where Spencer, Henry, and a hawk show up to Sissy's with all the dogs in her house. My dog looks like the gentleman that he is. I forwarded it to you, Eliza.
I forgot about that dog scene.
All those dogs. Yeah. You were like, were you a groomer? Was Sissy a
She was. I forgot about that. And the bummer of that shooting that was none of them were small. Like I was so in my mind, I was like, oh, she's gonna have so many Pomeranians, and they were all just like big dogs,
big old dogs that needed cleaning.
Because it's a guy movie. I have a double top of the cob, which is I got the answer for the chive question.
Yay!
Noah says, make a chive butter and then freeze it. Delicious.
Perfect.
There's your answer.
Good
and
work.
we have more answers like that. When you listen to Ask Eliza Anything, you can check out the Patreon for our bonus footage. And this episode's coming out this week. So then we got one more week, then it's 4th of July. You can get your tickets to see me in Eastern Europe. And if you don't live in that particular country, I know it's just a hop, skip, and a jump flight away. Come see me in Eastern Europe. And we've added shows in Dallas, which is not in Eastern Europe. We've added shows in Seattle. Of course, I'll be in places like Denver and Milwaukee and Chicago. So get your tickets now because all the good tickets are going to go and they're going to be stuck with the bad tickets. Eliza.com/tour. Please check out our Patreon, Ask Eliza Anything, and join the Patreon for bonus footage. Like last week, we saw my butt.
We did. You have a really respectful audience. They weren't as like amped about the butt as I thought they would. They were very much like, oh, that does look like a bad injury. I am very sorry for you and your injury.
Yeah, you'd be a certain level of scuzzy if you were like, oh yeah, it's a black
Finally.
and blue tush. Oh, finally see your half butt.